Okay. So data types, these are the data types which we see generally. These cover everything. These data types cover every data structure as well. So numerical types are integer, float, complex. Sequence type are list, tuple, range. Mapping types are dictionary, which means key value pair. Set types are set and frozen set. Boolean types are boolean. Binary types are bytes array, memory view, and many others. So there's some concept in Python which is called mutable and immutable. We will see. And if you will see that string is immutable, this means once you define a string in a variable, you can't make change later in the program. You can't make change of that variable later in the program. Why? Because it is immutable data type. In the same way, in interview, our interviewer asked me whether numerical integer, our interviewer asked me this integer is a immutable data type? And yeah, it is true. Integer, once you define integer in a variable, it is immutable data type. And in the same way, float, complex, these are immutable. We will see what do I mean by immutable. In the same way, lists are mutable, tuples are immutable, and this range data type is immutable. And to come to mapping, dictionary is mutable. You can, once you define a dictionary, you can make change in it. And in the same way, sets data type are also mutable. Once you define set, you can mutate it. But there is something called frozen set, which are immutable. But in Python, by default, the set which we convert are frozen sets. That's why we say sets are immutable data type. In the same way, when we come to Boolean is immutable as well. And all other these binary, bytes array, byte type, these all are immutable. Immutable means once you define this in a variable, you can't change it. How? We will see this. How? We will see it. Okay. Let's come to this string. We defined hello world. This is a string. X equal to 20. This is an integer. X equal to 20.5. This is a float. 7j. Just 7j. This is a complex. This X, apple, mango, guava. This is a list. List means with the bracket notations. Tuple with this kind of curly, this type of closing bracket. This represent tuple. X equal to range 7. This is a range type, which when you see the for loop for each variable in range. So range is an object which generate number from start to end -1. And then this X with this bracket notation is a set. In the same way, with this bracket notation, we convert a dictionary as well. So if you will see, this is a dictionary because Python is dynamically typed. It come to this, it check, okay, I found the name. Then it search for this colon. Okay, I found this. Then there is something assigned to it. And then there is comma. So Python interpret, okay, this is the dictionary data type. But if there is no colon, then Python comes, okay, apple is there, comma is there, then again apple is there. And with this bracket notation, Python say, okay, it's a set. In the same way, it's called frozen set. In the same way, there is some typecasting you do on the set and you make it as a frozen set. And yeah, X is a Boolean, and then B, hello is a byte. B, and this is a byte array. This is a memory view byte array, something. So this is the way you assign data types. In the same way, if you want to create an empty list, you just assign it to a variable A equal to this empty list is done. When you want to create an empty tuple, then you define it to a variable B equal to empty tuple is done. When you have to define an empty dictionary, you will say M equal to this empty dictionary is done. Or you can define dictionaries like, this is a wrong way of defining dictionary in Python, but how you can define it in a correct way. This is this will work, but according to programming convention, this is wrong. You can say something like dict. Because why I'm saying this? Because suppose a user come and he will see this. He will be in confusion whether M variable representing a dictionary or set, because dictionary and set both start with these curly bracket notation. In the same way, you have to define a set. You can do it like this, and you can also do it like the correct ways. m equal to set. In the same way, m equal to dict is the right way. So these are the ways you can define the data types. You know, integer string, integer is defined like this, and then variable complex is this, list is like this, tuple is like this. So these are all about data types. Now we will see the working of these data types in detail. Okay. So do you guys understand the initialization of data types? I assume. Like how are these data types are initialized? Okay, make cool. So now come to this thing. How to close this? Okay, how to close this? Close this. Okay, so now we come to this. Okay, so we will see mutability and immutability here. First, let's go on this. These are the basic things, these are the base on which all of the future data types which we will learn, or the future data structures which we will learn, are depend on these concepts. Now come to this. This is a string. A equal to hello world is a string. You define the string. You define the integer. These are immutable. Float is an immutable. Complex system is an immutable. This is the way you define the list. This is the way you define the tuple. Now let's check how this range thing is working. How this range thing is working. Okay, I guess I have to put this out. Okay. Range give us an object of numbers from starting to ending. Range, just remember, range function works on number. I will run this code. It will give me a range object. In this range object, the numbers are from 0 to 8. In the same way, in this range object, the number is from 2 to 8. How you can see this range object? If you will see this thing, if you will iterate with the help of for loop, if you will iterate on this range object. Suppose I make a range object here. For each I in A, print I. So you will see it will print a number 0 to 8. By default, it's print a number from 0 to 8 because range is an object which just generate number from A to B. That's all. And the data type is range data type. In the same way, the way I'm telling you, the Python is dynamically typed. It will come to this bracket notation C1, C colon, and then C the value. That is the way Python is saying, okay, this is a dictionary and this is a set. If I will show you here, I'm writing A equal to this, print type of A. It is saying class dict. But if you will provide values A, and then B, you will see it is of type set because this is the way higher Python interpret. If you will provide key and then value, now you will print it, it will say it is a dictionary. So these are the way how we work with these data types, and dictionary is the most used data type in data engineering. Every time the JSON body is in dictionary, the message payload is in dictionary, the AWS SQS, which we will see, is also comes in the dictionary form. Everything is dictionary is the most used data type. Then you will see this thing. Let me tell you type of this set as well. Print frozen set. Okay, let me comment out this. And then let me comment out this as well. Let me open this. Okay, so if you will see here, when I run this cell, I guess shift enter, I can run the cell. Okay. So apple, mango, apple was initially in my set. I mean, initially, if you will see this, let me give you more clarity. Making a new variable v. The new variable, I told you, this is the way how you can define a tuple. This is a tuple with this bracket notation. I'm converting this tuple to a frozen set with the help of typecasting. So now you can relate everything. I teach you typecasting and teach you tuple. Now, I mean, we will see each data type in detail, but I'm just for the sake of this class, I'm telling you. This is the tuple, and I'm converting this tuple, typecasting it to a frozen set. If you will print it, if you will see print type of new variable, you will see. So yeah, when you will print type of new variable, you guys will see it is of type tuple. And when this frozen set you are seeing, this frozen set which I defined here, it is of type frozen set. So it's a tuple and it is of type frozen set. So these are the two things which you can say. This is here the typecasting is happening. Frozen sets are immutable. These are tuples. Tuples are immutable, and we are typecasting on tuple. In the same way, if we go ahead in the class, you will see this thing, x equal to bool 0, and I will print x. Okay, print type of x, print id of x. id is a function in Python which give us in which memory location this specific variable which is x is present. So if I will run this cell, you will see x equal to bool 0. 0 means false in Python, 1 means 0 means false in programming language, 1 means true. When I'm converting this to 0 to bool data type, 0 represent false, 1 represent true. And not only 1, only 0 represent false. Except 0, everything represent true. Everything can represent true except 0. How I will show you. So x equal to bool 0. When I printed the x, bool is saying 0 is false. Type of bool is, you will say it is of class bool. And which memory location it is in my computer, in which memory location it is at this memory location. In your computer, you will see a different number. If you will write bool of 1, this is, it will say it as true. Bool of 1 is true. These are the memory location. Except 1, everything. I mean, if I write this integer as well, you will see it is true. So only 0 is the only number in Python which is 0 is the not 0 is the only number in Python which is interpreted as false. Except 0, everything is true. Except 0, Boolean, we provided to Boolean, everything is true. Now we will see this. Okay. If you will, there's a special keyword in Python, which is none. If you will print type of none, if you will try to print type of none, what is the type of this variable or this keyword none, or what is, or of this data type none? So you will see. So you will see this thing. It is saying it is of class none type. So none types are the special data types which are defined in Python, and they're presented as none types. And I should add it here as well. I should add it here. None type, and then these are defined as none. If I will show you, I want to teach you one more concept. Okay. Okay. This is a very important concept of if-else statement. Just keep in mind. Here I said x equal to bool 0, which means in x there is false present this time, because this boolean interprets 0 as false. When I am printing this statement, if x, print yes, what should be the output of this program? Can anyone tell me? If x equal to bool 0, which means false, which we have already seen, and I am saying if x, print yes. अगर x exist करता है तो yes print कर दो, जो कि x में एक वेरिएबल है false. Can anyone please type? Print will not be executed. Any reason? If print is not executed, there should be any reason. X is false. Okay. If you are saying, what about this? What about if I do this? This is a while loop. If I say while x, print yes. What about this? While x, print yes. What will happen with this while loop? Whether print is executed or not? Will not execute. And the reason is x is false. Are you sure that print will not execute? The reason is x is false. Okay. Yes. Yeah, maybe you are saying x is false. But the thing is, how this if and while loop work. If else statement, how this work? I just want to, the point is was that. So if statement will just want one as an answer, it want everything to be true, then it will allow us to enter in the if loop. Here the x is false is present. If we just write if true, it will go inside. If you write if one, it will go inside. Okay. So this means if a statement always look for boolean, they look for boolean data type, which can be 1 or 0. If the if statement will receive anything except false or except 0, it will make it true. That's why x we defined here was false initially, because bool 0 is false, but if we say x of something, 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 it now this time the x has become true. It will allow us to enter in this inside if. In the same way, how the while loop work? While loop will just check for this condition. If x is less than 10, suppose x is equal to 1. If 1 is less than 10, he will check for true, false. If true, then do this. If true, then do this. While loop run faster in comparison to for loops if you have certain conditions. That's why this while loop will allow us to enter inside it, and the for loop and this x will also ask us to allow us to enter inside it, because it is checking the Boolean condition. While loop at its root check for the Boolean condition. If it is true, do this. Not true, do that. I mean, not true, just don't enter in the while loop. In the same way you will see g equal to bytes of 98. So what I'm getting the byte data type from this value 98. That's why I asked you to read all those things. Bytes, memory, hexadecimal, decimal. If you will see here, if you will see, when I will print this, let me check bytes, just adding additional information for the user, bytes, and then enter. Add this, you can see this is the code that it has given, which means the bytes G, the bytes of 98 are this. These are the byte values of this number 98. This whole x00, x00. And when you're asking for type of byte, it is saying it is of class bytes, because that's how the bytes data type is defined. In the same way, if you will go for byte array, so I assume that it will give you the same thing. Let's check. Let's check. Here you can see the number 7. When I converted it to byte array, it is giving me this output, and then the type is byte array. The use of this data type, like converting it to byte array, it just used specifically depend on company to company. Whether company want information in which way, data in which way. That's how they are typecast. Now we are just doing typecasting. And after typecasting, how they are used. In the same with the memory view, if you will see, we have a memory of this variable of this number 8 in code. If you will see, this number 8 is at this memory location, and the data type is memory view for this variable x. One more thing in Python you can use, if you don't know, if you will use this help function of this memory view, you can see all of those things what this function is offering, what this thing is offering. You can see, if I will show you all the classes and all. Look, you can see class is a memory view, and inside the class these are methods, which means functions. You can use the enter function, eq, exit, ge. Can you hold for a second? Okay. Are you guys clear with this thing? You can help this. You can use this help function, which is already provided in Python, and you can see what are the methods on this, what you can do, what you can't do. Okay. Are you guys clear? Clear. Okay. Now come to this mutability versus immutability part. When we assign a variable number to any variable, I guess there is a picture as well. Okay, I will show you. When we assign any variable to a, sorry, when we assign any number to a variable, now we assign 97 as an integer. This assigned 97 variable now become immutable. So integers, now I have assigned an integer, now this integer is a immutable. As we have read as well, integers are immutable data types. In the same way string, in the same way complex. When I'm printing ID of this assigned integer, you will see when I'm printing ID of this assigned integer, let me show you. ID is this, at this memory ID, this integer is saved and the value is 97. Again, what I will do, I will try to overwrite this same variable with a new value 67. And I will assign it and I will run it. So you will see the 67 is at another memory location. And the 97 is at another memory location because it has created the same variable but with different data. So that's why in the memory block, these two variables are present at different address. We are not overwriting this 97. We are not overwriting this 97. We are making a new variable assign 97. Why this is happening? Ideally, it should able to write this, it should able to write this thing, this assign integer, but now it is not overwriting it. It is making a new place for it inside the memory. Okay. This means in ideal case, it should overwrite if it would be immutable, but it is not overwriting. This means the integer values are immutable. If it will overwrite, this means integer values are mutable. So that's the code logic you have to like think while programming. Data types are there, data structures is there, how to save them, how to use them, how to store them. But are they immutable? Can we create a reference of them after initializing it into something? So this is the way how this immutability and mutability concept is working. Now come to this point. Okay. Integers are immutable in Python. This thing is proved if you will see. Now come to strings. You defined a string and then you're asking for the ID. The ID is different. Okay. The ID is different for this integer. And if you will see, okay, for this string, ID is different because this is a new inside the memory. This SR is initialized at a new location. What is double underscore? Where you have asked for double underscore. Oh, this double underscore. This is the init method. This is the init method of Python. We will see this in object-oriented programming class. So in the same way, if you will see, again, I am defining a variable SR. Inside the SR, initially it was Python. Then I'm doing the string, adding two strings, trying to add two strings, which can be added. It will not throw any error. And we will see the ID of this. Yeah, we will see the ID. Let's run this program. If you will see, for this variable, Python and Python string, when we both combined it, we get the output different in terms of IDs. Why? Because strings are immutable. You can't override this SR once it is created, but you can, with the help of some other data types, you can make a new variable, and then this previous SR and this was assigned to it. This is the way how mutability and immutability concepts are working. Because if you just want to check the mutability of any variable, just use this ID operator, and it will give you whether it is at same memory location, whether they are at two different memory location. Lists are mutable, which we will see. Just give me a break. Let me drink water. Okay. So now you have seen that strings are immutable, integers are immutable. Now we will see why lists are mutable data types. I have created an empty list and then assigned a string to it, puppy. When I am checking the ID of this variable A, it will give me ID of this variable A, which is 139860 something something. What I'm again doing, these are the string methods which is append. We will see, these are the list method which you will see in next classes. A dot append comes. I appended this thing, this puppy comes. This is a string. I appended this string, I mean added this string to the same variable, which is the data type list. When I'm printing A, you will see, and I'm printing the ID of A again. After appending, this comes. Now, if I run this, you will see puppy is there, puppy comes is there. These two IDs are same. This is same, this is same. 9201385 Why? Because because the list are mutable data types, you can make changes once you create them. I made a error in one of the Google assignment. Google. When I was giving an online round of Google, I just made a error. I mean, I remember that error. I quickly fixed it, but I'm just telling you. I was writing a code and I was doing something like Python as a string, and then adding it with another string C. Suppose C equal to language. And then I am printing, because it was whiteboard round something. I was printing C. I was just printing C. So it should be like language plus Python. I will get the Python language. But when I was printing it, you will see when I was trying to access it, you will see it was giving me just language, because once the string is initialized, you can't make change in the C. You have to, if you are changing something, you have to make a new reference. You have to make a new variable, then you can reflect your changes in the string. But here in the case of list, we didn't make a new, we just write a.append and it is done. Append method not work on string, because in string append is not supported. That's why this list are mutable. We will see how to access element and all, but for the sake of convenience, if you will see, here what I'm doing is, again, puppy was there in my list A, but what I'm saying, we will see this, go to list, indexing start from 0 in computer, go to 0th element, or go to first element. 0th element is puppy, first element is comes. Replace it with goes, print ID, print everything. When I will do this again, you will see, again here you will see the ID is same. Now I have changed the item which is at the first position to goes, and I can able to make the change without storing it into a new variable, giving it a new reference. On the same reference itself, I can able to make a change, and the computer is allowing me. This means the the lists are mutable. In the same way, we will see for sets. Okay. I've created a set. This is my set, how it look like, with some number 1 to hello, and then a lot of numbers, and then again my name. I will print the ID of this new set. ID function will give us the memory at which the program is there. This variable is created, at which memory location it will give us. And then there is a functionality on set, which is add. There's an add method on set which will allow you to make a change in the existing set. If you will run this, you are adding 4 to it. If you will run this piece of code, you will see what are the memory locations. Is it changed or not? What happened? You will see this. I have printed this memory location, printed the ID of this set. Okay. Then I have added something. And then when I'm accessing A again, it is giving me none. Because I want to make changes in place. I can't, because the changes are happening in this reference, not in the new reference. So I will tell you how this reference thing is working, but first let's focus on this. As you can see this thing, the sets are mutable data types, because you can able to add hello. Initially there was no hello in this set. I mean, if I remove this, if I, sorry, able to add 4. Initially 4 was not there. You can able to make changes in the same one. The IDs are both same. That's why you can able to make changes in a set. Set is a mutable, but if you make a frozen set, it is immutable in Python. By default, sets are mutable in Python because you can add, you can delete, you can make anything. So sets is a mutable data type. But if you want to make set as frozen, you can just typecast it as a frozen set, which we have seen above. And now I will show you this frozen set thing as well. This was my set. Again, I'm trying to add 4 ID of my frozen set, and I'm again trying to access the ID after adding 4. So when I will run this command, you will see it is saying frozen set object has no attribute add. This means frozen set not support any attribute add or multiply or divide. And it is immutable. It will not change. Once it initializes, it will not change. Because you can't make changes. You can't do anything. You can't delete this. You have to go manually to delete this. You can't delete this through calling or invoking any function. So this here is what frozen sets come into picture. Frozen sets are immutable. Do you guys understand this core concept, mutability, immutability, and all? Can anyone type? Yes. Okay. So this class is done. I don't want you guys to grab more because in the next class I am targeting string. I have made this notebook, and then string is there. String is a lengthy concept. I'm targeting to finish list, string and list in the 2 class, and other 2 topics, tuple, set, and dictionary in the next class, which will happen on next Saturday, Sunday. And I will course syllabus is there on the website. Please go through it again, because I can't write the everything in detail. There is a overview of the topic that we will teach. We will study list, we will study string and all. And the guys who haven't like joined this course, or who want to join, they can ping Durgesh. And some are the participants already enrolled in this course. They will get the recordings. I will upload the recordings and share with your specific Gmail, and this notebook as well. Not today because it's just first class. After 1-2 days, I will share this notebook. I will maintain it. And what I am planning for the recorded lectures, this is what my plan is. I will make very nice recordings of the course which I will teach separately. I mean, initially I will provide you these recordings, but I will make separate recordings and then provide you those recordings. I mean, later, not today, later. So you can have, I mean, you are in the live class, so you can clearly go through the content in very short period of time. Instead of going through these lengthy live class, suppose I'm teaching something and I'm teaching it for like 2-3 hours in live class. But in recording, if I make it individually, I can make it for like 1.5 hours. Those 3 hours of class can be converted to 1.5 hours. So I'm planning to do the same. Let's see. But yeah, I will share recordings. And in the next class, we will just keep in mind that will be lengthy. We will target strings. We will target list. Today we have learned input, print function, data types, and mutability and immutability and referencing. I will target string and all. After finishing string and list, I will give you guys lead code problems. Some basic lead code problems, some very, very, very basic. Just go through them, see the solution, and relate with it. And relate everything with it. Yeah, this is the first time. This is the first class. So relate those things as well. I mean, Nazim, the language is not language should not be a barrier, because if you will go for interview to some companies, India or outside of India or within India, because India is such a diverse country, where people speak many different languages, but English is a global language. That's why everyone say you to please speak in English, because it's a global language which people assume that can be understood by many people. Like some of my friends are from Brazil, they don't, some of them know English, broken English, but some of them don't know English at all. In the same way, in India, many people are there who don't know how to speak in English, or they can't understand English. But I assume that you are a computer science graduate, you are seeing everything in English. Since school or in college, you understood everything, every textbook was in the English language. So yeah, this is learning requesting. Yeah, I mean, it's very hard for me to make individually for you. Just please understand my concern as well. So yeah, I will try. I will make sure I will try, but I'm not promising anything. But yeah, just try to like improve your English as well. Try to improve your English, and I assume while attending the lectures, you can able to do it. So yeah, that's all for the class today. And some participants can't able to join because they're in different time zones. Many of the participants of this course were from outside of India, from Netherlands or some other countries, Kenya and all. But yeah, thanks for your time. Thanks for the session. Thank you. Bye.